Good afternoon, everybody. 969 ice baths in a row. 969 today. Let's do this plunge. It's Friday afternoon. Ooh, this is going to feel good because it's hot outside. It is hot out today. This is going to feel really nice to cool off. Okay. Let's get in this cold water. I was reading about a French philosopher back in the 1500s. Michel Montaigne. I'm not sure that's how you say his name, but that's how I say it. When he talked about how anything different than what we think is right or how we live our life, we think is barbarism. And he talked about, how we judge. And unfortunately, if you do a lot of reading about his philosophy, 400 years later, we haven't changed much from what he condemned and what he talked about was wrong. It's like we tend to think anything different than our way of life or anything different than our viewpoint is just wrong automatically. And what he says is with knowledge, really, real knowledge and understanding, we can turn judgment into compassion. We can turn contempt into curiosity. We can turn self-righteousness into fascination and learning and humility. But we do the same thing that he saw back then in the 1500s. We just scroll by people that disagree with us and think that would never think that way, think that they're wrong, we're right. We signal virtue signal, I guess they call it. We virtue signal. We criticize others, condemn, we judge very easily and constantly. I do the same thing myself, I realize it. But being aware, I think, is the first step. And really trying to change your paradigm to understand a different point of view is where you can turn that judgment into compassion. Hard to do, but at least if we can be aware of it and aware how this operates in our life, we have a better chance of connecting with other people better. If we don't do that, if we just judge people that are different than us and condemn them, we'll never connect. We'll never understand, and I think that's probably most people. But I really want to take it upon myself to try and learn other viewpoints and see other points of view and turn my inherent judgment, which I know I have, into compassion. And my self-righteousness into humility and trying to learn, hey, if I went through what they went through, if I lived where they lived, if I grew up the way they grew up, if I had the experiences they had, I would think the same thing. And that was his point. You wouldn't think similarly, you would think exactly the same. So it's like, what do we need to go through to think like other people think, to see their points of view? And Stephen Covey called that a paradigm shift. I think that's really important, because we think people that are different than us are just wrong. Well, if you had the same experiences, the same memories, the same teachers, the same mentors that they had, you'd think exactly like they did. So that's where that compassion and humility needs to come into play. Not automatically that they're wrong, but automatically, oh, I understand. I would be exactly like them if it weren't for my experiences. Maybe I had some advantages they didn't have. Maybe I had some things going on in my life they didn't have. If I had their situation, I would be exactly like them. Let's not forget that, guys. Let's really try to do better at learning other people's points of view and really listening and turn that judgment into compassion and really help each other. And I know it's never going to happen on a grand scale, but individually, we can do that. I can change my world. I can't change the world, but I can change my world. And if we all did that, what a better place this would be, right? That's what we're striving for. So have an awesome day, guys. Hope these words of wisdom inspired you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.